What's good? What's good? It's Made Media Live. I'm your host, Big D. Give a couple minutes, get a couple people get up in the building. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Flex on him, I see you. Let me see. Yeah, man, we got a couple things to talk about. You feel me? Give a couple more, first 2 minutes. Make sure y'all hit that like, share, subscribe. I need more people hitting that like button. Don't be just sliding through without hitting that like button, man. You feel me? Y'all know, you know how I do though. We finna talk some real shit, man. Cause yeah, Russell Simmons, man, you should have just stayed your ass in that jungle, man. Hold on, cause this shit crazy. You know. Give it 2 minutes. We get on this topic. The first topic gonna be Russell Simmons. Man. Russell Simmons, this nigga. Let me share this screen right quick. Let's get right into it, man. This Made Media Live. I'm your host, Big D. We're gonna get into this Russell Simmons speaks. You feel me? Yesterday on the live, we see what DJ Akademiks had to say. Without seeing what Russell Simmons had to say. So let's look real quick, see what Russell Simmons had to say. Share the screen. Shout out to everybody in the building. This Made Media Live. Make sure y'all hit that like, share, subscribe. Let me see. Shout out for the cash out. Yes, sir. All right. So where was it at? Here we go. So this is just a reaction. This is all hiphopisreal.com. Make sure y'all subscribe to hiphopisreal.com on YouTube. This is Russell Simmons sends a message to DJ Akademiks for calling hip hop pioneers dusty and broke. Y'all know the controversial thing that DJ Akademiks say. I mean, shit. Hey, who gives a fuck? But all the old niggas do. So let's see what the godfather of hip hop, Uncle Russell Simmons. Let's see what this nigga got to say anyway, man. This Made Media Live. This is just a reaction. Don't strike my page.
So the nigga really mad, homie. I had them niggas set up for a speaking engagement to it, right?
This ain't the video. Hold on, my bad. What the hell is this? All right, hold on. Fuck Charles, all right. That one night, oh, that nigga be talking other shit. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe. This Made Media Live. We just doing a reaction real quick. So this is what Russell Simmons had to say about DJ Akademiks. Once again, this is off of hiphopisreal.com. Make sure y'all subscribe to that page. hiphopisreal.com.
These are producers' reactions to the samples in the producer growth kit.
Yeah.
just over.
To speak about this attack on the founding fathers, and in light of it becoming the 50th.
All right, right before we start, so people in the building. So if y'all don't know, just a little bit, but I'll just brush on a little bit. Russell Simmons is in Bali. I guess that's a island somewhere out there around Indonesia or somewhere. He in the middle of the jungle on a bamboo yacht. Basically, he done sold Def Jam. He done sold all his properties and everything before he left. When the Me Too movement was going on, that was in 2017. So for him to avoid any what you gonna call it, like to him, for him to be avoiding being sued or any criminal charges, he just sold everything and bounced to the middle of the jungle where nobody could find him, where he can't be extradited in the middle of the jungle. Man, this nigga crazy. Anyway, here we go.
Good morning. I'm going to record this, so I'll play it back. So I'll begin early. Not that many people joined my Instagram anyway. A couple of hundred maybe. Let me say this. I was asked to speak about this attack on founding fathers, and in light of it becoming the 50th birthday of hip-hop, I figured I'd share something because I was asked from a friend. He sent me the comments from the DJ Akademiks. I don't know who Akademiks is, but I know that.
Disrespectful. You know who the fuck DJ Academics is, you old ass niggas. Like, man, this dude. All right.
Popular amongst young people. Let me say this. Hip-hop has been the founding fathers without Hollywood and Chiba and Starkey and Cool Herc and Busy Bee and Love Bug.
All right. I know I'm a little older than DJ Academics, but all them names he just named, I may have read them before in the magazine or something, but I never heard of these motherfuckers. Like, I ain't never listened to these motherfuckers' music. Like, that's way before my time, man. Like, you must be talking about the 70s and 60s or the early 80s. Like, nigga, ain't nobody want to hear that shit. Nigga, shut the fuck up.
And without Grandmaster Flash and Grand Wizard Theodore, and without those people, I wouldn't be here. But I was there before there was such thing as records. These are the people who played the parties that Rush Productions promoted. So they are the founding fathers, and they created hip-hop. And no, they didn't all get so much money. But as far as money...
See, this is not a money thing. Fuck the money. What he said y'all old, dusty, broke, and all that shit. It ain't just about the money. Y'all just fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't teach the young niggas nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, let me finish playing what he got to say.
Hip-hop has been great because it's given people ways to survive, and other people have become extremely rich. I mean, I remember working with artists who were the biggest of the big, and some of them are not so wealthy today. I remember signing paperwork for Jay-Z and Kanye West, and they're pretty rich. So I've seen it all, and I was there before.
This nigga so deep in the motherfucking jungle, like you don't hear shit but crickets like a motherfucker. Crickets and jungle. Crickets and animals and shit in the background. This shit crazy.
4 rap records, as I said, and I look at hip-hop as a way to empower others. You get older, maybe, if you get older, Mr. DJ, you will also look at hip-hop that way. Because in the end, life only gives you a comfortable seat. And memories. And my memories of people like the great Grandmaster Flash and his rapper Melly Mel. Let me see. People in place to face to face about the rap race. The sounds you hear so good to hear. Have no fear. The great Grandmaster Flash is here, introducing the disco dream on the Mean Machine, the Darth Vader on the Slide Vader. No one could. Anyway, I can go on forever. Flash. My memories of him are greater than the yachts I got on, are greater than the trips I took around the world. My memories of the culture exploding, DJ Hollywood. Right now, Mama in Your Neighborhood. Yes, once again, it's Hollywood. Watching that stuck in my memory today. I'm 65. Right now, I can remember those things a lot more vividly. They made a much greater impression on my heart than all of the stuff that I got. In fact, I've abandoned most of the stuff because it doesn't make me happy. But my memories in hip hop make me happy, and in fact, they give me uh, a thankfulness, a gratefulness comes from the experiences that I've had with these hip hop artists, LL Cool J and Public Enemy and Slick Rick and De La Soul and Tribe Called Quest and Eric B and Rakim and Big Daddy Kane and all of those artists who I work with, all the way up until Ludacris and Foxy Brown and all of that. I've seen all that shit, and I'm.
This is funny, Russell Simmons. Nah, I ain't gonna do it. All right, this is Russell Simmons speaking on DJ Akademiks. The channel we watching on YouTube is hiphopisreal.com. Make sure y'all subscribe to them. Make sure while y'all up in this bitch, hit that like, share, subscribe. You feel me? Get this bitch around, cause we gonna play Uncle Rush, whatever the fuck you want to call this nigga. Mr. Def Jam, Mr. Fat Farm. Also, Mr. Watch Your Daughters around this motherfucker. But yeah, let me finish press play.
I'm still here, and I guess I look good. I have this house I built here in Bali and this hotel next door, and I have a talent agency. In fact, I'm still making all this money because I said that the worth of a man's career is how many people have you made successful. We made hundreds of people, millionaires, many of them, most of them, so many millionaires. Leo and Cohen, who runs YouTube, and Julie Greenwald, who's the most successful woman in the history of music business, and record label of the.
Oh, so Leo Cohen. So y'all on YouTube. Damn, I better be careful what I say. Man, fuck YouTube. Y'all motherfuckers ain't monetize me. On your ass, nigga. On your ass, nigga.
Year, every year, and record executive of the year, Kevin Lyle. These are people who came from the root, and my root is DJ Hollywood, Cool Herc, Eddie Chiba. So don't forget your roots, Akademiks. Is that how you pronounce it? Like the clothing brand? Stop it. Just, pause and be grateful for those who came before you, who built your life. I don't know how wealthy you are, how many boats you float on, how many cars you own. How many people have you made?
This be my problem with old niggas. Like, since when did it become about motherfucking how much property you own or how much money you got and all that shit ain't got nothing to do with that. What you old niggas then teach the young niggas coming up under y'all? Did y'all teach them anything about the business besides y'all trying to jerk them to? Like, fuck that shit.
Made rich. How many people have you made successful who have made their families successful? What have you done for the culture, most importantly?
DJ Akademiks did a lot for the culture.
I know Drake's song. I don't know you. I know I sound like Stacey Dash. I don't know you nigga at all. I don't know what you made.
No, this nigga in the middle of the jungle talking
God
shit.
bless you, and Hip Hop 50 is coming, so God bless hip hop.
Yoga ass nigga.
The Yankee hat.
And then try to rap on him. You showing the fucking Yankee hat in the middle of Bali, in the middle of the fucking jungle, boy. This nigga is crazy. Man, that's old ass Russell Simmons, what he had to say about DJ Akademiks, right? All right. Shout out to everybody in business, made media live. And this is DJ Akademiks reply to Russell Simmons. And after that, and then we're gonna get into this Russell Simmons shit. Since DJ Akademiks didn't really want to dig into his background and see what all these Me Too charges against Russell Simmons and see what the fuck he been doing. Yeah, let's see what DJ Akademiks reply is. This is off the Chig Smooth channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to Chig Smooth. Shout out to Chig Smooth. We just doing a reaction. Don't strike my channel. And this is DJ Akademiks violates Russell Simmons for speaking on him calling legends dusty. Why are you in Bali? That's my question, my nigga. Why are you way out there in Bali? Why did you sell all of your property? Why did you can't just basically cash out like you on a run and you went to the middle of the jungle? All right, let's see what DJ Akademiks got to say. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like, share, subscribe. This Made Media Live. I'm the host, Big D.
Chigs is in here recording this and shit.
No Chig's moved in here, right?
Shout out for the cash
Whatever you
out.
say.
You know Chig gonna have everything up there.
Whatever you say, Chig's gonna be on YouTube with it, man.
But
I like
you
you.
went to Bali, you sold everything you owned. Russell Simmons, do you want us to talk about you? That's not what I do. But Russell Simmons, you a hypocrite. Okay, you talking about, you feel like I'm disrespecting the culture? I bet. Russell Simmons, I apologize. I want to talk about if you disrespected the culture. You want to talk about your past? Russell Simmons, do you want me to get every girl who feel like you gotta hit them up when they were 16 and 17, when you was a grown-ass man in your 30s and 40s? You want me to do that? You want me to do that? Russell Simmons, do you want me to do that? Your video you did about me look goofy. If you really want me to do that, this is why I'm here. I've always thought my mission when it comes to hip-hop, I'll never be the most liked. I'll probably be sacrificed at a certain point. But a lot of you thought that it was all good and candy. Y'all gonna be sacrificed too. Russell Simmons, are you down to have that conversation with me? When you jump in a conversation, are you down to have that conversation that you were dating 16-year-olds? Are you down to talk about that? Russell.
Damn. Russell Simmons was dating 16-year-olds. So let's just say he wasn't in his 60s when he was doing this. Damn, what, he was in his 40s, 30s? Uncle Rush.
Russell Simmons, I want to talk to you. Russell Simmons, you're in Bali. You sold all your companies and ran away. Do you want to talk about that? You're not that much different from R. Kelly. Do you want to talk about that? Russell Simmons, do you want to talk about that? I want to almost end my stream here. Russell Simmons, do you want to talk about that? For every attack me and co-sign him, do y'all want to talk about Russell Simmons' history in hip-hop, his predatory actions? Do we want to talk about that?
If you've got the Airbnb app on your phone, you're already halfway to making 6 figures in semi-passive monthly income. Because we flip beds on Airbnb. We've already collected flipping fees of over $5 million. And if you knew how easy it was, you'd probably be doing this too. Because you need no money, no skills, no experience.
Russell Simmons, you live in Bali. You sold all your company. You got hundreds of millions. But do you want to talk about that? Because I have a lot to talk about. Russell Simmons, do you want to talk about it? If you want to talk about it, I'll end my stream now. I want to give you the chance to respond. And I have a lot to say about you. Do you want to talk about it? Russell Simmons, you ran away from the United States. You live in Bali, my nigga. You ran away from anything where New York American judicial system could actually hold you accountable. You ran away because you were one of the niggas who was using your power to take advantage, allegedly, of people. And I don't even know that to be true, but I would like to have that conversation. You ran away. Nobody held you accountable. Do you want to have that conversation, Russell Simmons? Russell Simmons, do you want to have that conversation? I know you don't know me, but do you want to have that conversation? That's the only thing I want to get from the stream. I'm going to cut my stream after this. Everybody want to acknowledge that Russell Simmons ran from the United States? He lives in like a remote island because he never wanted to be accountable. Does he want to have that discussion? Because I want to talk to him. Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons. Let's Google your whole fucking history, my nigga. Let's Google your whole history, nigga. I always tell y'all when y'all dig a hole, dig two. This dig two. And by the way, I'm not saying you guilty. I'm not saying you a piece of shit. But Russell Simmons, when you start throwing darts at other niggas, make sure you straight. Russell Simmons. Me too. This is you. This is you. Hold on. Let me get. I know. Okay, whatever. Let me just get this out of the way. Get this out of the way. Hold on, chat. My bad. I know. Y'all want it. This is Russell Simmons. This is before you move to another country. Music mogul Russell Simmons is accused of rape by 3 women. A powerful gatekeeper. I'm not that. Russell, I understand you a man, and when operating in the music business, shit might happen. I don't even know if all these accusations is true. But when you start trying to when you're trying to sit up on a soapbox, this is the only thing I'm trying.
Shout out to DJ Akademiks. DJ Akademiks violates Russell Simmons for speaking on them calling legends dusty. Why are you in Bali? This is off of Chig Smooth channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to Chig Smooth. I'm just doing a reaction. I'll get back to it.
I'm trying to tell a nigga, like, you're trying to sit on a soapbox acting like I'm just a piece of shit. Acting like I don't care about the culture. I don't care about people. But Russell, remember, I was on a show with Joe Budden when I knew when you moved out of the United States and you lived in Bali, nigga, and you liquidated all death, nigga. I know when you liquidated all your shit, got all your money, and you dipped. You know why? Because you ain't want to be caught up in a Me Too movement. And I didn't double around and be like, yo, he's escaping. I never did that. But now you trying to jump in, trying to make it seem like, because I did a tongue-in-cheek joke, and I said, oh, a lot of these hip-hop pioneers are broken, dusty. Now, I don't know. Academics, I know. All right, so let's talk about you, Russell Simmons. Are you down to talk about it? Because here's a great thing about it. I will talk about you every day. Russell Simmons was accused of rape by multiple women. He was a very powerful nigga in the music industry, and he dipped. He ran.
Shout out to DJ Akademiks. As soon as we finish playing this, we're gonna, look into this Russell Simmons shit.
Look, Russell Simmons. Russell, you're on the Hampton scene after the Me Too allegations. After keeping a low profile, blah blah blah. The disgraced mogul fled. Hold on. What did it say? The disgraced mogul who had fled to Bali in 2017. Boy, you're recording a video from Bali to me. Like, don't it hit y'all to be like, yo, and by the way, Russell, I want you to understand this. I'm not even saying none of these things were true about you. I don't know. But now you're trying to make yourself a victim. You're trying to make yourself. This is what the hip-hop industry does. The way for you to make yourself seem clean and clear is to blame another nigga. Russell, if you gonna talk, let's talk about your shit. You ain't never interview with me, nigga. You don't have to. But the next time you fucking speak publicly, nigga, speak publicly about what niggas been talking about you since 2017 is 5 years later, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? Keep doing your fucking yoga dance and doing the fucking Indian style sit, nigga, but stop trying to push blame and go at other niggas when you know you not innocent yourself.
Shout out to DJ Akademiks. That nigga going hard at that nigga Russell Simmons. Man.
You returned to the United States after the Me Too allegations. Hear what they said about you, nigga. You gonna read it. You accused of rape, sexual misconduct by multiple women. Granted, you did deny it. I will say that. You returned stateside in 2019. But you were generally kept out in the public eye. You were spotted at Angel Ball in Southampton. That you in the Hamptons, donating a large sum of money because you're trying to get out of all that shit. Here's the point I'm trying to say. A nigga like you, and by the way, I don't know if you were ever guilty or innocent. I'm not here ever trying to make you look crazy. But when you show up and you're trying to grandstand, oh y'all niggas, oh y'all hip hop niggas, y'all try to grandstand against me. Oh y'all trying to grandstand against me. Oh yeah, we're perfect. Academics called y'all broken, Dusty. Oh, he's a piece of shit. Okay, all right. Let me take that. I'm a piece of shit for calling the hip hop pioneers broken, Dusty. Is Russell Simmons a piece of shit for allegedly raping a bunch of chicks who are subordinates? Stop fucking talking about me, nigga. Because I'll make this the subject of conversation. You moved out the fucking country to get away from it. But trust me, when you're talking about me, I'm very educated with this shit. Russell Simmons, let's talk about why the fuck niggas is talking about you with multiple rape allegations. Let's talk about all that shit. You don't want to talk about it.
Shout out to everybody in the building. This made Media Live. Get him, Max. Get him, Act.
You don't want to talk about it. Russell Simmons, you're in Bali. Let's talk about it. It's a reason why there was a thing called All Deaf got bodied. By the way, they couldn't compete with me because they wasn't a Lisme. And also, when you did try to help them out, you were considered very volatile. They got you out of there. You probably sold some shit. You got your money. You dipped. My nigga Russell Simmons, you're I see you with a. Oh, I got a Yankee hat somewhere. Where's my Yankee hat? I gotta find my Yankee hat. I see you with a Yankee hat. I want to talk about your allegations because, okay, cool. I'm guilty. And hold on. I'm the first person to say I plead guilty for calling maybe people who shouldn't be called broken dusty from the older age. I called them broken dusty. I called it was a joke for the most part, but some people took it serious. Fuck it. Who cares if it was a joke? I am guilty. I will stand on that. Russell Wilson. No, not Russell Wilson. I'm about to call you Russell. Russell Simmons. Are you down to stand on that? Russell Simmons, you're one of the top creeps in hip hop. Are you down to stand on it?
That's true. That's
on
true.
It? Me and you talk.
That's true.
Russell Simmons, you're right. I was very fucked up and foul for even mentioning anything that got to do with anybody else in hip hop, pioneers, this and third. But I want to talk to you. Some of the people who they say you abuse want to talk to me. Are you down to talk to me and them? Yes or no? You won't do it. You pussy, nigga. Stop mentioning my name. I don't give a fuck who you are, nigga. Talking about, some people say Queens. Oh, is it Queens? Let's Google it. Actually, nigga, we know you live in Bali. Let me just put Bali in at the end of Oh, my God.
My nigga, boy.
Amid a wave of sexual allegations, Russell Simmons has retreated to a yoga resort in Bali. Bali's in Indonesia? Oh, hell no. 6 TV reports that Russell, a huge yoga fan, is essentially in the middle of the jungle. No way. No fucking way. At a luxurious yoga barn in the village of Ubud, Bali. Why would he do such a thing? I would assume he's a good guy. He's innocent. Why did he flee? Russell Simmons, man. I don't need to know you, nigga. And I was never
Soon
talking
as we
about
done playing this, we gonna find out why this nigga ran out there.
But you love to jump up because you probably just trying to gain some well-wishing from other people. I ain't a nigga to play with. If you want to talk about me, let's talk. And I've invited everybody who want to talk. I'm down to sit with LL Cool J. I think he's a little bit too upset. He might not want to talk. Okay. But you, Russell Simmons, you're saying a lot of stuff. I would love to talk about you. You could ask me about what I think, could ask me about what I said, broken Dusty, and I want to ask you about these allegations that it appears that you have left the country to try to avoid. You don't want to do that. That's the reason why I look at y'all niggas and I'm like, shut the fuck up, nigga. Yo, Russell Simmons, I guarantee won't talk another thing about me, nigga. I'm on your ass now. I don't care nothing about y'all executive. Fuck y'all niggas, man. Russell Simmons, you talk about me, talk about why the fuck you in Bali, boy. Niggas had multiple rape allegations on you. You never said nothing about it. You just left the country. Why did you do that? Russell Simmons, I want to know. And that's how I'm keeping it with all you niggas. If y'all not going to have good faith discussions with me, because I never came here trying to bully people. And by the way, I want to salute to, what's that nigga name? What the fuck is his name? LL Cool J, because he wasn't aggressive, he wasn't whatever. He seems like there's a possibility we could talk. Okay. But you, Russell Simmons, everybody been know you on the run, nigga. If you gonna engage in discussion, I want to know why Russell Simmons got accused of 10, 12 rapes, and that nigga's out the country and don't want to talk about no rapes. He only want to talk about what Akademiks talking about. Russell Simmons, I'm going to get the fuck off stream right now because Russell Simmons, unless you finna address all the shit you got going on, I don't want you here. You talk about nothing about Akademiks. Let me just tweet it out. Russell Simmons, I want to talk to you. I'm going to tweet it out right now. Other than that, brother, I ain't got shit to say about you, nigga.
So now DJ Akademiks violating Russell Simmons for speaking on them, calling legends Dusty, and why are you in Bali? This is off of the Chig Smooth channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Chig Smooth channel on YouTube. Just did a reaction. Hold up real quick. So this is the reason why Russell Simmons, well, part of the reason why Russell Simmons, I'm quite sure it goes back way before 2017. I'm quite sure this shit probably gonna go back to the 80s and 90s and shit. With all, you know, they was gonna probably come out worse than motherfucking R. Kelly on his ass. How long this nigga been in hip hop, and ain't no telling all the allegations, you know, they done paid off secretly. But shout out to everybody in the building, man. This Made Media Live, and I'm your host, Big D. And I'm gonna read this shit real quick. Music mogul Russell Simmons is accused of rape by 3 women. This is off the New York Times. Mr. Simmons, a powerful gatekeeper in the entertainment and media world, damaged careers and self-confidence with his pattern of sexual assault and harassment, the women say. Yeah, here we go. In 1995, Drew Dixon was working her dream job as an executive at Def Jam Records, helping oversee chart-topping album and ambitious single by Method Man, Mary J. Blige. But as her star rose, Miss Dixon, then 24, was spiraling into depression. She said because of a prolonged aggressive sexual harassment by her direct supervisor, Russell Simmons, the rap mogul and co-founder of the label. On work calls, he will talk graphically about how she aroused him. At the staff meeting, he asked her to sit on his lap. He regularly exposes his erect penis to her. Late that year, Mr. Simmons raped her in his downtown Manhattan apartment. Miss Dixon said she quit Def Jam soon after. I was broken, she said. All right, so guess this is the lady. It's one of the ladies. Drew Dixon, who said Russell Simmons sexually harassed her repeatedly when she was executive of this label, Def Jam Records. She said he raped her in 1995. All right. We speaking on Russell Simmons. This is just for educational purposes. This is allegedly, of course, you know, Russell Simmons ran off to Bali He ain't been back since, but let me finish reading this. In recent interviews, 4 women spoke on record about a pattern of violent sexual behavior by Mr. Simmons, disclosing incidents from 1988 to 2014. 3 of the women say that he raped them. In each case, numerous friends and associates said they were told of the incidents at a time. The women said they were inspired to come forward in the aftermath of accusations against Harvey Weinstein, as victim stories have been newly elevated and more often believed. Told in detail about the rape accusations and other misconducts, Ms. Simmons My bad. In recent interviews, 4 women spoke on the record about a pattern of violent sexual behavior by Mr. Simmons, disclosing incidents from 1988 to 2014. 3 of the women say that he raped them. In each case, numerous friends and associates said they were told of the incidents at the time. The women said that they were inspired to come forward in the aftermath of accusations against Harvey Weinstein, as victim stories have been newly elevated and often believed. Told in detail about the rape accusations and other misconduct, Mr. Simmons, which he is 65 now, this from 5 years ago, said in a statement, "I vehemently deny all these allegations. These horrific accusations have shocked me to my core, and all of my relations have been consensual." He added, "I have enormous respect for the women's movement worldwide and their struggle for respect, dignity, equality, and power." Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Last month, Mr. Simmons, a forefather of hip hop who went to great success in fashion, media, and more, apologized for being thoughtless and insensitive, and announced that he was stepping down from his companies after screenwriter Jenny Lumet became the second woman to publicly accuse him of sexual assault at the time. I have rededicated myself to spiritual learning, healing, and working on behalf of the communities to which I have developed my life. He said in a statement on Wednesday, "I have accepted that I can and should get dirt on my sleeves if it means witnessing the birth of a new consciousness about women. What I will not accept is responsibility for what I have done, what I have not done. What I will not accept is responsibility for what I have not done. I have conducted my life with a message of peace and love. Although I have been candid about how I have lived in the books and the interviews detailing my flaws, I will relentlessly fight against any untruthful character assassination that paints me as a man of violence." Once again, this is off the New York Times. This is the Russell Simmons numerous rape allegations. I'm just reading this. Wondering why Russell Simmons went to Bali? The most powerful men and companies and popular in the music have thus far gone largely unscathed in the national reckoning of sexual abuse. A major reason for sex and are built into the music industry, where the boundaries between work and play blur in the late nights of the clubs and studios, and many women have scant power and incentive to complain about their mistreated. These women still face powerful industry gatekeepers like Mr. Simmons, whose pedigree and ability to make or break careers allow his abusive behavior to go unchallenged for decades. His accusers contend Russell was like a king of hip hop, Miss Dixon said. She said She said she was later harassed by. Hold on 1 second. These women still face powerful industry gatekeepers like Mr. Simmons, whose pedigree and ability to make or break careers allow his abusive behavior to go unchallenged for decades. His accusers contend Russell was like a king of hip hop, Ms. Dixon said. She said she was later harassed by another boss, L.A. Reid, the music legend known for his work with TLC Mariah Carey, driving her from business where women have little. In a statement to the New York Times, Mr. Reid did not address the specific claims, but apologized for his words were misinterpreted. Black women especially felt powerless against Mr. Simmons and his cohorts in the small world of urban music, with several saying that misconduct against them could go unchecked because their place in the industry was so tenuous they feared of being ostracized or worse. 3 of the women now accused Mr. Simmons were pursuing a career in the music industry that they were disrupted or derailed in part by the experiences with him. I didn't sing for almost a year, said Tina Baker, a performer who says Mr. Simmons raped her in the early 90s when he was her manager. The second he agreed to work with me, my budget increased. The label was paying more attention to me, Ms. Baker recalled. But after the assault, she said, I went into oblivion. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like, share, subscribe. This Made Media Live. I'm your host, Big D. Rereading the New York Times. Shout out for the cash app. Rereading the New York Times. This is the numerous Russell Simmons sex allegations. Wondering why Russell Simmons in Bali right now, and he hasn't been to America since. And he also sold his company and all his property before he left. All right, let me finish reading this. Make sure everybody hit that like button. Share this, you know. All right, he pushed me on the bed. First known as a hyperactive party promoter turned manager from Queens who helped boost Run DMC, Mr. Simmons was among the first to view hip-hop as a big business and cultural force. In 1983, with the producer Rick Rubin, he made Def Jam the defining rap label of this era, with hits by the BT Boys, LL Cool J, and Public Enemy. Even after Mr. Simmons sold his remaining stake in Def Jam for a reported $100 million in 1999, he served as ambassador for the hip-hop through comedy, Def Comedy Jam, clothing, Fat Farm, and activism. Today, his company, Rush Communications, oversees an array of businesses and nonprofits. In 1987, Tony Sally, a music journalist for the trade magazine Black Radio Exclusive, met Mr. Simmons while on assignment. She found him to be charming and a gruff playboy. They ended up going on a few days before Miss Sally, then 28, decided they were not a match. So, there she go, Tony Sally. Don't look too bad. You know, back then the mustache was in. I think in the early 80s, it was acceptable for females to have a light mustache. Let me see. Yeah, me too. Hashtag me too. This is why Russell Simmons then fled the U.S. and never came back, huh? All right. But the two remain cordial, Miss Sally said. In the fall of 1988, late 80s, 1988, Mr. Simmons invited her to his Manhattan apartment for a party. He said he was hosting for his girlfriend. When Miss Sally arrived, the place was empty except for Mr. Simmons. She recalled saying he wanted to show her the apartment. Mr. Simmons led her to his bedroom. He pushed me onto the bed and jumped on top of me and physically attacked me, she said. We were fighting. I said no. He raped her. She said two friends, Sheila Brody and Arlene, whatever, and the colleague confirmed that Miss Sally told them about the assault around the time that it happened. Though his lawyer, Brad D. Rose, Mr. Simmons acknowledged that he dated Miss Sally but denied any non-consensual sex. Miss Sally said she was too afraid to report the assault. If I went to the police, I didn't know how that would have turned out. She also worried about her burgeoning career. You have to understand, I was very much in a man's game, Miss Sally said. Black women were just starting to break into the field. Should have told women. About a year later at the music conference in South Florida, Miss Sally, who was then working for Warner Brothers Records, said she encountered Mr. Simmons in the hotel lobby. When he tried to lead her to a dark beach, she resisted and he attacked her, grabbing her by the hair, she said, and even chased her into the women's restroom before she escaped to her room, where she barricaded the door. At no time did Mr. Simmons conduct himself inappropriately, Mr. Ross said. To this day, Miss Sally said, I don't feel comfortable in a room full of men. Music executive she told about the hotel and the incident brushed it off and added, I felt alone for 29 years, she said, like nobody would listen to me. Following the reports of alleged misconduct by Mr. Simmons, in November, Miss Sally said she contacted the Manhattan District Attorney Office to accuse him. The law enforcement official confirmed that the woman contacted the district attorney office to report the incident from 1988 and added that a different anonymous woman had recently reported an incident from 1991. The official said that the incident had occurred so long ago that the statute of limitations had lapsed and the crimes had not been prosecuted. There are no details about the woman from the 1991 incident, but the official said that the woman had been referred to the New York Police Department Special Victims Squad so that there would be a record of the complaints if more recent allegations were to emerge. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like, share, subscribe. It's Made Media Live. I'm your host, Big D. Rereading the New York Times. This is a Russell Simmons story about his many rape allegations. All right. Here we go. I shut my eyes and waited for it to end. Miss Baker, the singer, thought Mr. Simmons could elevate her career as her new manager. She had performed as a backup vocalist for Madonna, Bruce Springsteen, and as Tina B released pop and dance records in the 1980s. One night in the 1990s or early 91, she ran into Mr. Simmons at a club, and he invited her back to his apartment to discuss her career. I didn't think anything of going, Ms. Baker said. Haven't been there many times without incident. This time, though, it all got really ugly pretty fast, Ms. Baker said. As soon as they entered, Mr. Simmons started pouring drinks and trying to kiss her, leading to a scuffle, she said. She recalled him on top of me, pushing me down, and him saying, don't fight me. Ms. Baker said she was pinned to the bed. I did nothing. I shut my eyes and waited for it to end. She cried the whole way home, she said in the interviews, and emailed her ex-husband, Arthur Baker, a music producer, her psychologist, Dr. Robin Goldberg, another therapist, and a former roommate all confirmed that she told them that she was raped. Mr. Simmons, though his lawyer said he had no recollection of ever having any sexual relations with Miss Baker. You know, shit, he don't remember. You know, back then them niggas off of coke, all type of shit. So maybe he was drunk, maybe he was high. I don't know, but this is her right here, Tina Baker. She was a former singer. Said Mr. Simmons raped her in the early 90s when he was managing her career. Foundered after, and her music language unreleased. Make sure y'all hit that like button. After the assault, Miss Baker remained tethered to Simmons professionally. She said she returned to his apartment for a meeting. Mr. Simmons liked to conduct business while working in his penthouse, but as soon as he stopped exercising, she said he pulled out his penis and moved towards her. She fled. All right, this is the cover. January, February dance track Miss Baker released under the name Tina B in the mid-'80s. This is Tina B. Shout out to Tina B, wherever you're at. Nigga needs some glasses. All right. Amid strife with her label, she tried to exercise create herself on contract with Mr. Simmons, she found, but he ignored her and her music. 2 years worth of songwriting and recording language. I went into a deep depression, she said, and her recording career foundered. Mr. Simmons said he did everything he could to professionally promote her career while Baker was signed to the label and then stopped representing her, according to his lawyer. The events took a heavy toll on her romantic relationships. I didn't have sex with a man for almost 9 years, said Miss Baker, now a lawyer. I went into a cocoon. I was concerned. Drew Dixon left Stanford University in 1992 to join hip hop revolution. After about 2 years on the fringes of the business, Miss Dixon, whose mother Sharon Pratt was mayor of Washington, D.C. from 1991 to 1995, had a professional breakthrough. Russell Simmons, whom she had met through friends, was looking for a new A&R executive at Def Jam to scout talent and coordinate hit records. She said he was a decading figure, complete with Rolls Royce, the living, breathing personification of hip hop, glamour mixed up. And his sexual advances started right away and became relentless at a restaurant. Mr. Simmons pushed Miss Dixon into a broom closet, she said, and tried to kiss her. At work, he would close the door to her office and expose himself, leading her to give a copy of her key to a male coworker. This dude's a real creep, a real fucking weirdo. I was like, if I ever buzz you, don't pick up, don't call me back, just open my door. That means Russell in here, and he whipped his penis out, she said. Though his lawyer, Mr. Simmons, acknowledged that he engaged in inappropriate conduct with Miss Dixon while she worked at the Def Jam. So Mr. Simmons acknowledged that he engaged in inappropriate conduct. Fending him off was a full-time job, Miss Dixon said. It was exhausting. It was like making a record while swimming through the seas. At the same time, Miss Dixon knew Mr. Simmons valued her expertise. She had an ear for emerging talent, even bringing a rising Notorious B.I.G. to the office. That's a shame. She trying to go further with her career in music, you know, as executive, and this nigga keep trying to have sex with her. Some weird ass nigga, old ass pervert ass. He probably was about 40 years older than her already. I didn't want to cut off my one time contributed to having any hope of a career, she said. I thought if I could survive long enough to have a hit, a real bona fide hit with my name on it, I would move categories from sexual object to respected colleague. In 1995, Miss Dixon thought she had found her lifeline, her first major project, a soundtrack for the music documentary The Show, featuring Tupac, A Tribe Called Quest, went platinum. She and Mr. Simmons were listed as executive producers. Shout out to her. Miss Dixon, when she was an executive at Arista. Beautiful lady. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like, share, subscribe. This made Media Live. I'm your host, Big D. This is the New York Times. Music mogul Russell Simmons is accused of rape by 3 women. All right. One night as she left Brewery Bar near Mr. Simmons' apartment to get cab money from an ATM, she ran into him. You have the #1 record in the country. I order you a car, she was calling him, saying. Waiting for the ride, she let her guard down and entered his apartment. I remember realizing I was concerned, said Miss Dixon, who says she rejected Mr. Simmons' sexual advances that night directly, many ways to say no, as well as explaining that she had just had a gynecologist procedure and could not have sex. He told her he didn't care, she said, and I just blacked out. The last time I remember it was him pinning me down to kiss me on the bed, she said. The next thing she recalled was being in Mr. Simmons' hot tub, both of them naked, and Mr. Simmons gleeful. Miss Dixon said she had not been drinking and did not think she had been drugged. Rather, she said she had disassociated her from the experience. Denise Gale, a friend who was then staying with Miss Dixon, recalled her coming home in a daze. She pretty much told me right away that he had sexually assaulted her, that she had told him no crime, and that he didn't seem to be interested in stopping. Miss Gale said she mentally deteriorated instantly. 3 others confirmed that Miss Dixon told them and about the assault harassment around the time. Mr. Simmons emphatically states that he did not have sex with her, his lawyer said. Soon after, Miss Dixon said she composed her resignation letter to Def Jam by hand, humiliated, and in a panic, crossing out her mistakes rather than starting again. I was going to give up, she said. Miss Dixon considered escaping to graduate school, but the success of the show soundtrack had made her the taste of a commodity, and she started at Arista Records as an A&R executive under Clive Davis in 1996. She enjoyed more success helping to orchestrate smash singles like Whitney Houston, My Love Is Your Love, Aretha Franklin, A Rose Is Still a Rose, and Santana's Maria Maria. But even at Arista, the long shadow of Def Jam remained, partly over a dispute about what she said were unpaid business expenses. Miss Dixon hired a lawyer and threatened to sue Mr. Simmons for sexual harassment, as well as outstanding bills for the label. In 1997, the parties settled out of court. Mr. Rose, Mr. Simmons' lawyer confirmed the settlement. So that nigga settled. He didn't want the smoke. He just settled out of court. Miss Dixon said she accepted about $30,000, around $3,000 for the expenses and the rest for legal fees, and stayed quiet. I was like, I don't want to be famous for being sexually harassed by Russell Simmons, Miss Dixon said, citing the lingering criticism of Black women like Anita Hill and Desiree Washington, who accused Mike Tyson of rape. I want to make records and be famous for that. I want to make records and be famous for that. Miss Dixon hoped to move on with a career at Arista, but in 2000, L.A. Reid replaced Mr. Davis atop the label. Mr. Reid began sexualizing her. Miss Dixon said it would turn cold when she denied his unwanted overtures. So L.A. Reid went over there to Arista doing the same thing that Russell was doing at Def Jam. So I guess, that's a common thing that these old ass, perverted ass executives try to do to the younger staff. Miss Dixon says she tried to parry his come-ons the best she could without offending him, but when she openly defied his demands, declining his invitations and to meet him late night at his hotel wearing jeans when he insisted on skirts, she worried that her artists would receive short shifts. It was a quid pro quo. I have power. You want access? Sleep with me, or I'm going to really be mean to you the next day, and there will be consequences, she said. Mr. Reid left this year as a chairman of Epic Records following accusations of sexual harassment told in the detail Ms. Dixon's allegations this week. He said in a statement to the Times, I'm proud of my track record promotion, supporting and uplifting women at every company that I've ever run. That notwithstanding, if I have ever said anything capable of being misinterpreted, I apologize unreservedly. In 2002, at the top of her game, Ms. Dixon left the music industry for Harvard Business School. She concluded that no matter how many hits she had, I could not have success in the music industry unless I slept with somebody, a gatekeeper. She said, and that fact that I would be doing it to advance my career, I would hate myself. That's a real woman. Shout out to her. The truth is coming out. Post Def Jam, Mr. Simmons rebranded his image from high roller modelizer partying with Donald Trump and Naomi Campbell to Uncle Rush as a spiritual yogi and elder statesman. He released books like Success Through Stillness and Happy Vegan, while focusing on philanthropy and political advocacy. I took lots of every drug from heroin to coke to ecstasy to and LSD. Meditation kills medication. Super rich. That was one of his tweets from December 8th, 2012. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe. This is the LA Times. Music mogul Russell Simmons is accused of rape by 3 women. Just doing a little research, wondering why Russell Simmons is hiding in Bali in the middle of the jungle, talking shit about DJ Akademiks and trying to defend the elders of hip hop. But you running from the Me Too movement. This shit crazy. All right. Miss Dixon said that years after her experience with Mr. Simmons at Def Jam, he apologized to her at an industry event. He said, I have daughters and I do yoga now. He said, I have daughters and I do yoga now. Drew and I know what I did was wrong and I'm sorry, Miss Dixon said. Yet this Mr. Simmons is not the one that Christina Moore said she encountered in Miami at the Art Basel in 2014. Miss Morris, who was 26 at the time. So this is 2014. She was 26 at the time. Russell Simmons is 65 right now. Damn. And a friend bumped into Mr. Simmons at an elevator at Soho Beach House. I wonder how that be when like his daughters be bringing their friends over. Like, do they even bring him around his old perverted weird ass? This nigga weird. The women were meeting friends at the bar but were lost. Miss Moore said Mr. Simmons suggested he knew where to go. Miss Moore and her friend followed him. He led them to his room. I felt duped, she said. Immediately, Mr. Simmons began to run a bath, Miss Moore said, and then pushed her up against a column in the room, hands all over my body and up and down. She said, I felt assaulted. He told Miss Moore that she was a bad girl and threatened to tie her up. She said Miss Moore and her friend bolted. They got up out there like this old nigga got us fucked up. Man, this nigga. Mr. Simmons, Mr. Russell, Rush, Uncle Rush, whatever you want. Like, them bitches are like, you got shit fucked up. You got to pay to play. Nigga, maybe you should have handed over the money first and see if it was cool. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. Yeah, let me finish reading this shit. This nigga's a weirdo, man. Mr. Simmons recalled meeting Miss Moore and her friends. He said the women followed him to his room of their own accord and asked him about getting into parties. His lawyer said running the bath was Mr. Simmons' signals to Miss Moore and her friend to leave. He denied any misconduct. Come on, man. What nigga go up in the house and start running bath water? What nigga even be taking baths and shit? Like, man, what the fuck? All right. I guess. I don't know. The yoga master. This nigga Russell, old ass. That nigga's an old. You tell he an old ass senior citizen. What old niggas do? What do old niggas do when they get home? They run some bath water. Old ass niggas running bath water, man. Yeah, man, we ain't taking no motherfucking bath. You jumping in the shower, man. You know what I'm saying? Nigga ain't taking no motherfucking bath. Finish reading it. Shout out to everybody. Billy. This made media live. I'm your host, Big D. The whole interaction lasted about 5 minutes, Miss Moore said, but it stayed with her. Shout out for the cash out. I felt a lot of shame and guilt at ending up in that situation, she said. When reports of Mr. Simmons' alleged sexual misconduct began circulating, Miss Moore grew more and more alarmed and decided to come forward. I would hate to think that would have happened if I were alone, she said. Yeah, probably would have been worse. Miss Baker, too, spent years of feeling guilt over how she handled the situation with Mr. Simmons. After the Weinstein revelations, I started to get very agitated and emotional, Miss Baker said. Scanning for mentions and misconduct by Mr. Simmons, she concluded that she had a moral duty to tell her story. Miss Sally said speaking out was a form of affirmation and relief. I still cry, she said, but she added, I'm happy that the truth is coming out. I'm ready. The professional price Miss Dixon paid was steep. She said she cannot listen to the taste-shifted music she's helped create. It's too emotional, taxing. Her promising career was curtailed her for talent wasted. I gave up something that I love to do, she said. I erased myself. Now I want people to know why. Damn. That was it, man. Let me see. Let me stop sharing this page real quick. Man, hold on. Shout out to everybody. Bill, make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe. I'm your host, Big D. But this nigga Russell Simmons is a fucking weirdo, man. So, me reading that, so he was accused, he had anywhere from 10 to 12 allegations before he fled to Bali. You know what I'm saying? And that was just the beginning stages of that's when the Me Too movement and everything was going on. Like I said, he probably had more accusations than R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? this is allegedly not saying that it's true, but you know, when more than 3, 4, 5 people come forward saying the same shit, like, come on, man. You know, but then again, because he done put on a couple of these pioneers of hip hop, like, you know, he started, you know, he put on LL Cool J and put these niggas in position to feed their families and get rich and all that. Yeah, of course they gonna have some type of loyalty to the nigga, but like to just a normal nigga like me, like nigga, we see this shit in the hood every day. Nigga, these older niggas, you know, these hustlers that got money in the streets, getting at these little girls and shit, and you know it ain't really talked about too much. You know what I'm saying? I believe the women, you know, I believe them, you know, all of them against Russell Simmons because he just looked like one of them weirdos to me. I don't give a fuck about you being no uncle of hip hop, godfather of hip hop, all that shit. Like you ain't no godfather, uncle to me. You just a weirdo. You just another old ass weirdo that you try to use yoga and hide in the middle of the jungle to avoid prosecution, buddy. You know, but shit, hey. Let me see. Shout out to everybody in the building. Cortez, nigga in the jungle doing yoga. Man, we could watch that shit again. I'm talking about you could barely hear him. There's so many crickets and shit. Like that nigga deep in the middle of the jungle. Like I'm surprised a gorilla or nothing ain't around that nigga. Like you way in the middle of nowhere. I don't even know how the fuck they got Wi-Fi way the fuck out there. Like how they got Wi-Fi in the middle of the jungle. You on the bamboo made yacht. You sold all of your belongings. You just sold your steak and Def Jam and everything and hid out in the middle of the jungle to avoid prosecution, you know. And then you in Indonesia, and I'm not trying to, you know, be stereotype or whatever the fuck, you know, and all that shit, but I didn't, you know, I think out there, like that's normal where they could be with like little young ass girls like 10, 11, 12 and shit. I don't know. I just wish that when Russell Simmons did that little video, the cameraman should have did the whole 360 of whatever around you. I just want to see real quick what's all around you. You know what I'm saying? Is it hella little girls lined up on them bamboo sticks, or you know, you got? I just want to see what's in your room, my nigga. Like you's a weirdo, you know. So yeah, we just read up on this nigga Russell Simmons, the weirdo. Why he fled America, you know. I think that was a good discussion that DJ Akademiks brought up. Shout out to him. He didn't really want to go in on the nigga, but you know, I just wanted to read what the charges was, you know, and yeah, it sound like he running to me, you know. He ain't been back since, you know. So for me, like you call yourself an old hip hop spokesman and all that, like nigga, you should have just shut up. You know what I'm saying? Now you about to have everybody looking into this shit. You know, you probably gonna spark back up the Me Too movement just for this shit. So just they need to make a documentary on your ass. How they made on R. Kelly and all that shit. They need to make one on your ass, my nigga. We need to bring your ass back to America. We need to bring you back for these charges. Okay, not no criminal shit. You know, just so you can answer some questions. You know. Shout out to everybody in the building. This made me there live. I'm the host, Big D. Yeah, now we can get on to this. Let me share the screen. We can get on this Afrika Bambaataa shit. Let me see. All right. So, if everybody don't know who Afrika Bambaataa is, don't feel too bad, because I really don't either. Okay, I can't say I was back then listening to no Planet Rock or whatever the fuck he was doing. Like, the nigga looked weird to me, you know what I'm saying? But he was one of the forefathers of hip hop. But this is also the man of the Bronx. You know, he had a big ass movement like a coat. And it's been accusations of him fondling, touching, raping underage boys, and one of the victims was Hasan Campbell, who is a YouTube star right now, who on a daily attack women, you know what I'm saying? And he got at Mama Duck and all type of shit, disrespectful towards women. And this is the reason why, because this man, Afrika Bambaataa, took his manhood. So yeah, let's see. And I don't know when Hasan Campbell started going to that nigga house, and this shit been happening, but when you 16 and 17 years old, nigga, and you taking the bus by yourself, the train, whatever the fuck y'all do in New York, nigga, when you going by yourself and you out there and you going to his house to get your back blown out, man, that's not right. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But all right. 4 alleged sexual abuse victims come forward against hip-hop pioneer Afrika Bambaataa. This is big Afrika Bambaataa. He look like a big fella, about 6'5", 6'6", 350 pounds of pork. 350 pounds of pork. So this article came out. This is from the essencemagazine.com, essence.com. Well, this is off the page I got. It's essence.com, but I guess this article is from the New York Daily News. All right. So I believe this nigga Afrika Bambaataa is from the Bronx, New York. But we about to read this and see what the fuck going on with him. Let's get it. All right. Let's get it. Shout out for the cash app. Last week, the New York Daily News published an exclusive interview with Ronald Savage, a Bronx man who claimed that hip-hop pioneer Afrika Bambaataa sexually abused him as a teenager. Since sharing his story, 3 more men have come forward with similar allegations. I know what Ronald Savage is saying is true because because he did it to me, said one of the alleged victims, 50, who chose to remain anonymous, but he's 50 years old. I guess 50 is his age or whatever. I have never spoken to anybody about this, and when I did, I said, holy shit. They finally caught up to him. Damn. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I still have a lot of anger about this account and another victim named Troy, 51, who have been dealing with this for years. It's a shame this didn't come out earlier. Troy did not provide a last name. The third alleged victim, Hasan Campbell. The third alleged victim, Hasan Campbell. All right. Hasan Campbell, 39, explicitly recounts the abuse. Damn, that nigga only 39? Oh, this back then. He even older now. Damn. Yeah, older ass nigga. All right. Recounts the abuse. He had the most fun house in the world. That nigga said. Hasan Campbell said he had the most fun house in the world, Ricard Campbell. There were celebrities there, musicians, neighborhood heroes. It was the best place to be and the worst place to be. All right, let's see. Campbell told Daily News that he had posted an angry abuse video accusing Bambaataa of sexual abuse several months ago. He took the video down after Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation officials agreed to meet him. In their meeting, Bambaataa had acknowledged the abuse and apologized to him. He promised Campbell he would get counseling, open up a center for troubled youth, and step down from the Zulu Nation. Damn. He never did any of those things. Like, hold on, before I finish reading this, you know what that sounded like? He sounded like he made a promise, like, to his bitch, like to his female, like, yeah, I promise, like yeah, I promise I'm gonna get counseling. You know, I'm gonna get marriage counseling. I'm gonna get counseling. I'm gonna get some help for this, honey, or some shit like that, right? I don't know. Let me finish reading this shit though. Make sure y'all hit that like button. He never did any of those things, Campbell said. He never did any of those things. All right, Campbell said. He's a manipulator and a liar. He's just waiting for this chaos to blow over so he can go back to his dark diggy hole and go back to his old ways. He needs to be put down. He need to put down the candy and let the little boys go. He need to put down the candy and let the little boys go. That was a zesty saying right there. That was crazy, man. Yeah, Hasan Campbell. They was in a full blown ass relationship. I don't give a fuck what you talking about, man. They was boyfriend and girlfriend. And Big D say that just made me alive. I mean, I was Big D, you know. I said that allegedly. All right, here we go. Finish reading this shit. Mouth dry as fuck. Oh, hell no. Hold up. Go back to it. All right, here we go. Zulu Nation, meanwhile, called Campbell both a liar and a government-paid police informant. DJ Star, the Star Report, the former Hot 97 of Power 105 DJ who has posted interviews with Campbell and Troy on his YouTube channel, said his audience was originally split on savage allegations, but the tide has turned, he said. People are taking this very seriously, he said. Zulu Nation needs to demand that Afrika Bambaataa step down. If you believe Black Lives really matter, you have to stand up on this. Since this release, this article was released years ago, I believe Afrika Bambaataa did step down as head of chairman of the motherfucking Zulu Nation, whatever that is, out there in New York in the Bronx. I guess it's some hip hop university, and they was, recruiting the younger boys, and I guess Zulu Nation to be, Afrika Bambaataa was molesting hundreds of them kids, allegedly. All right, with the help of Getty, damn, how I keep going back to this? Oh yeah, that was it. Was that it? That can't be it. I guess that was. So yeah, that's the Afrika Bambaataa and Hasan Campbell shit. That Bambaataa is a predator. Watch your kids and watch your husbands around this nigga. Russell Simmons is a weirdo. He's a creep. Watch your daughters and watch your children around him. Russell Simmons should have just shut the fuck up, stay hiding in the middle of jungle. You know, don't speak up. You know, when niggas talking, when niggas speaking, just shut your ass up. You know, I want to hear your little child molestation ass. You know, I wanted to do Russell Simmons, do his daughters even go visit that nigga out there in the middle of the jungle? Do he ever come to the U.S. to visit? Or do he vacation out here? I don't know. Ain't no telling. But yeah, ain't nobody thinking about that nigga. I just wanted to look over that. You know, in case anybody was wondering why Russell Simmons ran out to Bali, you know, we just looked into them allegations. And I guess that's why. That's the reason why I take it. But yeah, shout out to everybody in the building. It's Amazing Media Live. I'm your host, Big D. About to bounce off this thing. Start my day. Y'all have a good weekend, man. Make sure y'all share this. Until next time.